Habari Entertainment proudly presents Habari Live. Habari Live. From Phoenix, Arizona. And you're listening to the Habari Live podcast. The show that brings you news, sports, and entertainment for people who love HabariEntertainment.com. Here are your hosts, Aisha, Jimmy, and Damon Dipleen Ellison. Let's get it going. We are all the way live.
Welcome back to the second part of Habari Live. Now we're going to get into some news. I know we went away for a moment, and everybody, this is our normal thing now. We're just going to stop for a moment, come back, bring in all the political people. You know, we don't want all those people for the interview. Some of them leaked in the interview, and that's not really what we want. But it doesn't matter. You know, this is what we're about. We're about to kick off we're about to kick it off and get it going and talk about what's going on for the week. So go ahead and run that Habari News Weekly.
And now, this week's Habari News Weekly with Damon Dipleen Ellison.
Sponsored by no one, but if you do want to become a sponsor, you can hit us up at info@habarientertainment.com, and we will create a custom package for you, making sure that you get exactly what you need for your business and your company. So let's get into it, man. Good evening and welcome to Habari News Weekly. I'm Damon Ellison.
And I'm Aisha.
Thank you for joining us as we delve into this week's top stories. First, I want to talk about Jasmine Crockett, man. She she cracked a joke on what's the governor of Texas name? Abbott.
Yeah, Governor Abbott.
Yeah, she cracked a joke on Governor Abbott. She called Texas Governor Hot Wheels, and the crazy part is, I think she was watching Righteous Gemstones, because that's what he called BJ at the dinner table the day before. But
Right.
But the Republicans were up in arms. They were upset. A couple people called her to be censured. But I cannot believe the hypocrisy of the right to act like they're outraged over him being called Hot Wheels when we've watched Donald Trump make fun of disabled people. We've watched him make fun of Elizabeth Warren, calling her Pocahontas. We watched him make fun of Joe Biden, calling him Sleepy Joe. But somebody else calls somebody a name, and you guys are outraged. Outraged. This guy goes around talking about the Canadian Prime Minister, Justin Trudeau. He talked trash about him. He's talked trash about everyone. And you guys have no issue with it. It's outstandingly amazing that the same people who sit around and clap when he called others names to get upset because he was made fun of. He made fun of a guy with multiple sclerosis. We've all seen that. He's won 2 elections after he's done that. I don't want to hear anything from the right on these things, because to me it seems like you can turn a blind ear, a blind eye, my bad, to so much. You're okay with the way Donald Trump and his White House press secretary talk to people. You're okay with Marjorie Taylor Greene talking to people like trash. You're okay with all this stuff, but you're up in arms when somebody makes fun of someone else. Man, it was distasteful. You can't say that about somebody. That's definitely distasteful. But at the same time, it's hard for me to hear it from the Republicans. You guys don't care about anybody. He calls people criminals. The names that Donald Trump calls people, man, is just, he's a nasty person. And if the reporter doesn't ask the question the way he wants, he's mad, he's upset. So we can't. There's no way in the world that I'm going to listen to them being outraged because she called somebody a name. These people, man, are absolutely insane if they think that we're going to listen to them. We called Hillary Crooked Hillary. That's what they was calling her. He had a name for everyone, and y'all was clapping. Yay! Yay! Yeah, lock her up, lock her up, lock her up. That's what y'all was screaming. Crooked Hillary. But somebody called the governor Hot Wheels. We want her censured. Like the dude, the it's just the hypocrisy is crazy. The same people that censured Al Green after
Right.
we saw Marjorie Taylor Greene act a fool. Her and that other idiot jumping around, making noises. When Biden was talking, y'all like that. Y'all clapped and applauded. But then when it happens to Trump, oh my God. Oh, no, this can't happen. This is a clutch your pearls moment. Censure him. Like, dude, that's all that the Republicans, man. I mean, I saw Barkley say some shit like the double standards on both sides. Both sides, the Republicans and the Democrats are both bad. Dog, Democrats may make some bad policy moves, bad policy decisions, but I don't see Democrats calling people names. I don't see that on a regular basis.
Right.
I haven't seen anyone that was the president calling everybody names from the Democrat side. Obama didn't call people names. Biden didn't call people names. Trump does. Biden didn't talk down to people. Trump does. And then just like that one time Biden did crack a little joke. He said, "Are you black if you vote for Trump?"
They hold that to heart.
Oh, they'll never let that go. Never. Any joke anybody else crack, oh my God, you better not. Oh my, he's racist. He's racist. Joe Biden say one thing, they ain't gonna never let that shit. Trump can say the craziest shit he want to tomorrow. They act like that shit's all good. Oh, their Jesus said it, so it's cool. He can say whatever he wants. But no one else can say a thing. Everybody else is supposed to be presidential. Everybody else. This is weird, man. The standards that we hold everyone else to. But for some reason, our president is not held to those same standards. Mm-hmm. It's a weird bunch, man. He even talked, he talked bad about Ron DeSantis. He called DeSantis all type names. Man, he was murdering Ron DeSantis. It's I don't know, man. I agree with you, Tony Davis. He talked bad about the dude. I was saying that about Hillary, James, is that she was called Crooked Hillary by the president. Mm-hmm. And all of these people who want to act like it's no big deal when Trump disrespects others. We see the same people who get mad celebrating when he's calling them names. It's just weirdly hypocrisy. I just don't get it. But let's go into the next story, though, man. We will begin with a controversial move from President Donald Trump. Yesterday, the president signed an executive order targeting the Smithsonian Institute to redirect funding away from programs he deems to promote divisive narratives, improper ideology. This order specifically mentions the National Museum of African American History and Culture and the forthcoming Women's History Museum. The president asserts that over the past decade, there's been a concerted effort to rewrite American history by replacing objective facts with distorted, ideologically driven narratives.
Yep. And critics are arguing that this move is an overreach of government power aiming to suppress narratives that don't align with a particular viewpoint. They contend that the Smithsonian's role is to present a comprehensive and inclusive history of America, and this is just not, it's not doing it. And this order is threatening their mission, according to them.
I mean, this action raises concern about the politicization of cultural institutions and the potential stifling of diverse perspective in historical discourse.
Yep.
It's just, man, I just don't understand how people can look over these type things, man. Since this guy has been in office, how many things have been removed? How many programs have been removed that is from black
Right.
and women? Why is it an attack on all these people? He also took back the lease from Obama's library. Really? I haven't heard about that. I have to look into that, Mr. Tony Davis. I just don't understand why he's attacking all the African American institutions.
Mm-hmm.
They say that he's not racist, and it's not racism. But why does it keep coming up that something that is black and historical is being attacked? Jackie Robinson,
Just removing things off the website.
the Tuskegee Airmen.
Mm-hmm.
Now he's going after the black history that's in the museums. Holy moly donut shop. I'm talking about Trump removing anything and everything that has to do with African Americans. That's what I'm talking about. He keeps removing things. And then he wants to come up with a ploy and act like he's not racist. Republicans want to act like these things are not racism. Why is he always taking our stuff away? Yes, he is racist. I don't have to use words to say it. I sound smart to fucking figure out that he's racist, bro. What are you talking about? Pinky Brain, the institutions that I'm talking about is the Smithsonian Library and museums. He wants to take information and history out of these museums so he can contort them to his view of what history should be. The man who had a father that was in the KKK. Mm-hmm. He's not, man, dude. With business, you need to learn how to get with the subject. We're not talking about illegals. We're talking about him removing history from the Smithsonian Museum. That's what we're talking about here, bro. I know you Trumpers don't really think much, but today we need you to think a little bit, man. But anyway, it's unbelievable, man, that we're seeing this history being removed. He's telling black people what history that he thinks is okay. Shouldn't he be listening to us on what we think that should be going into our African American museums?
Right.
We're going to listen to some old white dude tell us what should be in there? Then he's going to tell us what's hurting his feelings. And we don't want that in there. What? Dog, we're telling the story the way the story was told. We're not going to change it because it hurts your feelings. Oh, it's not putting the white man in a good light. Well, you wasn't in a good light back then. Sorry, we're not going to sugarcoat history because you don't like what it sounds like. Only a fool would argue he's not racist. You're 100% right, David. 100% right. Out of here, man. All right, I'll hear you out. Where's the proof about this Smithsonian article? Bro, why do I have to prove it? It's all over the news.
You ain't got to do that.
You could just Google it, bro. It's something that we are discussing, this information that came out this week. This is everywhere. I mean, come on, man. But anyway, you got the next part.
Bro, giving me single auntie vibes. Wow.
What the fuck ever, man. Get on my nerves, man. You got it, babe.
Yeah, I got it. I mean, let's in other news.
You already did this one? Yeah.
I don't have that. Did you redo the notes last night?
Critics argue that this move is an overreach of government power, aiming to suppress narratives that don't align with a particular viewpoint. They contend that the Smithsonian's role is to present a comprehensive and inclusive history of America, and this order threatens that mission.
Yeah, we read that already.
I don't think you did.
Yes, I did.
Whatever, man. But look, it's no, because I did
Yeah.
this action raises concern about the I don't know.
That's what you read last. That's what
Oh,
we were discussing last.
okay. But like I said, man, I really just think that this should be proof that why is he being back Confederate statues? Why is he? Oh, he's bringing back. He's trying to bring back Confederate statues.
David
I wanted to see
Pileski on TikTok said only a fool would argue he's not racist.
Yeah, man, he's 100% right, and he is trying to bring back the Confederate statues. These are the things that he's trying to do. Pinky Brain, why do I need to read the entire order? We've got a synopsis of the order of what's going on. I'm not really. I'm. This is what's going on. This is what's being reported everywhere. I'm just letting you guys know. I guess the Americans are finding out in real time how the Nazis got it. Yeah, man.
These racist folks are really showing their true colors and feelings, and it's okay. We know who we are.
Yeah, man. I love it. So, what you say? Go ahead.
I was just reading Lou from TikTok. She said these racist folks are really showing their color and feelings, and it's okay. We know who we are.
Any historical landmark should have never been removed. If they were racist landmarks, and if they were promoting racism and also celebrating terrorists and traitors, yeah, they should have been removed. They never should have been put up in the first place. Those guys were never heroes. They never should have been put up. We never should have celebrated people who traded on the country. Why would we put up statues of traitors from the Confederacy?
Ken D said all YT supremacist groups are self-professed Republicans.
Mm-hmm. All of them. All of them.
After changing the military base names back to the Confederate folks.
Yeah, man, I love that move that they made where they named it after the dude who had the same last name, but named it after another guy so they wouldn't get into the mess that they was in. I'm have to look up that base. See, I wanted to hear bro's side, but instead he just wants to believe the fake news. Hey, man, you know, there's things that are fake, like the video or the audio that came out of JD Vance talking about Elon Musk. That was fake. There are a lot of things that's fake, but this isn't fake, man. This is real. This is what's going on. This black dude is the racist and really needs to get an education and wake up to life and get one Trump has done.
Anthony Terry from TikTok, he says an inanimate object does not promote racist hatred will always be taught.
Right, but we should not put up statues of people that hated people just because of their skin color. Why would we put a statue of that? It doesn't matter what the object is. If the object is celebrating something that is evil, why would we put that up there? We're supposed to celebrate love, not people who hated other people because of the color of their skin. So, I mean, this is not what is, I mean, shouldn't be a question. These people fought against America because they didn't believe that black people deserve to be free. They shouldn't be celebrated. So any statues or anything like that they talking about putting back up, I'm not with it. Any history that they're talking about removing just because they don't like that what's going on in the 50s, 60s, and the 1870s, that's on them. That's on them. I don't even care.
CW from TikTok says that's a true story. You ain't got to celebrate that.
You don't have to celebrate it at all, CW. Right. Yes, it is history. You know, Pinky Brain, one thing that kills me is this. You guys understand history when it comes to racism and racists and the KKK and the Confederacy. But for some reason, you don't understand history when we want to talk about the bad shit you guys did. You want to change it. You want to remove it. But you want to keep up the statues of the KKK members. But if we say, all right, let's put it in the books, critical race theory, let's put it in there. Oh, no. Oh, no, we don't need history in there. But we want to have statues up to these people. But if we put it in the book, you're pissed? I don't understand y'all thought process on this shit. I'm really getting confused. Do you want to celebrate? If you're saying it's okay to put the KKK member statues up, then how is it bad that we are putting in books the information and history stories that was being told, the things that really happened, how you bombed Oklahoma City, how you were killing
Tulsa.
people in East St. Louis in the 20s, the riots that was going on through the 20s when all the people were getting killed all through the 20s, all of the riots, Detroit, like I said, East St. Louis, Tulsa, Oklahoma. There was riot after riot. We supposed to just erase that because you don't feel right? But we supposed to look at statues of KKK members? Like this is weird, man. I don't understand this. How am I confused? Please, Ben, tell me how am I confused? You're telling me that it's okay to put up statues of
Universal
Confederacy
Energy
people.
said, I bet he also thinks all blacks from history are innocent of anything.
What the fuck, man? We're talking about racism in America.
You
I
ain't
don't
confused.
understand.
They confused.
Very confused. Do you know history outside of racist history? Yes, there's plenty of history, but you guys don't like that either. We try to do Black History Month and y'all be mad about that. We try to celebrate all Black history. You get upset. You don't want to see that. They get mad. Oh, to Black history, we don't want to see. Why they got Black History Month?
They celebrated when Trump made the order to get rid of celebrating all cultural
Switch the
events.
cam, bro. Yeah.
On the cultural events, just like a month ago, he got rid of all the cultural events, and they ain't gonna try to make it like it ain't nothing.
Man,
We for Black people, we're for brown people, we're not racist. But let's take away all of your celebrations for history.
Right.
Let's take away Juneteenth.
Right.
Let's not celebrate anything that has anything to do with any cultural event in America. Women's History Month.
Mm.
You know, you see how he went in there and talked in front of all of those women the other day, right? At the women's conference. I'm the fertilization king.
Right.
I'm going to be known for fertilization.
Right. Yeah. CW says racist history, one man, and he's supposed to be our president. Yeah. It's crazy.
Switch.
It is crazy. Nobody wants to hear a grown man whining and crying. I mean, just because you're okay with racism and hate doesn't mean that I have to take it. Just because you're okay and your privilege doesn't mean that I have to take the hate. Period. I love my neighbors. I don't care what skin color they have. I have no fucking problem with them. Let them live their fucking life. I don't care what they're doing. But for some reason, when we're living our lives, it's a problem. We teaching our kids, it's an issue. We got to stop it, man. This you.
Yeah.
Switch it to her, bro.
In other news, the Trump administration is facing scrutiny over a significant security breach. Senior officials, including Vice President J.D. Vance and Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth, used the encrypted messaging app Signal to discuss classified military plans for airstrikes against Yemen's Houthi militants. In a startling lapse, journalist Jeffrey Goldberg was mistakenly included on this group chat, exposing sensitive information.
Yeah, go ahead and switch it, bro. The administration's response has been mixed. President Trump initially stated, I don't know anything about it. Let's play that clip with Trump expressing his disdain for for Atlantic Magazine, which was involved.
I don't know anything about it. I'm not a big fan of the Atlantic. To me, it's a magazine that's going out of business. I think it's not much of a magazine, but I know nothing about it. You're saying that they had what?
They were using Signal to coordinate on sensitive materials and
having to do with what? Having to do with what? What were they talking about?
With the Houthis.
The Houthis? You mean the attack on the Houthis? Well, it couldn't have been very effective because the attack was very effective. I can tell you that. I don't know anything about it. You're telling me about it for the first time.
So you heard the president's words there, and he certainly looks like he is hearing about this for the first time. However, if that is true, that certainly raises many questions of a different kind. That the story has been out for more than 2 hours at that point when he spoke there, and if he was not briefed on it, that is also very interesting. We know this president is someone who receives news often by watching television on his own, by looking at the social media on his own. He's been a big critic of the Atlantic, but he said he didn't know about it. We will see if that continues. But the bottom line here is the White House is reviewing how Jeffrey Goldberg got added to this chain, and also reviewing whether this type of conversation should have been on this chain in the first place.
Yeah, man. Look at that.
Yep.
Can you believe that these people who yelled and screamed to lock up Hillary are sitting around acting like they don't know what happened?
Mm-hmm.
And the same people, the same Republicans who yelled and screamed and acted a fool about Hillary, now it's not a big deal. It's not a big deal.
Exactly, Tony Davis. How was it a mistake when dude added him in?
It's a mistake.
Hustle Boy 7, Mega can't stand the truth. The truth will always come to light.
Yeah, Hustle Boy, you are exactly right about that. Fortier denies Trump is going to ruin the United States. You are 100% right.
CW, don't you know that they can take away our holidays, but we're still going to celebrate them?
That's true. But it just shows the racism that's embedded in the administration.
It does.
When you have people trying to remove holidays from black people and brown people, indigenous people, like it's ridiculous. Man, look, man, we've Holy Moly Donut Shop, we have listened to you guys say let's go Brandon and fuck Joe Biden for 4 years. Y'all blame Joe Biden for everything. And now that Trump is in office, nothing is his fault.
Yep.
All the eggs ain't his fault anymore. All the price of everything ain't his fault, but it was Joe Biden's fault though.
Yep. Granddad Eddie Price said, "This is racism 500 years ago. Don't let them read, write, or speak our own language without the threat of being beaten, thereby causing you to forget your history, and then labeling you as dumb and or stupid. Now that we know who we are,
switch the camera, bro,
and who's where, and who they want us to be, and try to destroy our history again."
Yeah, exactly right.
We're not going to buy it.
We ain't going for it. Hey, brother, I agree with you about not celebrating any races. I'm a 60-year-old white man who grew up in a black neighborhood in Brentwood, New York. My very first friend is black, who I die for. Hey, man, I'm with you when you said you wasn't celebrating any races. Why would you want to celebrate people who hate others? This is the thing that I don't understand about the Republicans. They just gloss over all this hate that they're putting on others. So we've had Defense Secretary Hegseth downplayed the incident, asserting nobody was texting war plans. That's what he said. And that's all I have to say about that, is what the dude said. It's on you.
However, the release of the full transcript of the group chat has intensified the criticism that's out there. Senator Mark Warner, vice chair of the Senate Intelligence Committee, challenged Director of National Intelligence Tulsi Gabbard's claim that no classified material was shared, stating that, "So if there was no classified material, share it with the committee. You can't have it both ways." Let's go ahead and roll that clip.
Should be two.
Contact the defense secretary or others after this specific military planning was put out and say, hey, we should be doing this in a skiff?
There was no classified material that was shared in that
So then
signal
if there was no
check.
classified material, share it with the committee. You can't have it both ways. These are important jobs. This is our national security. Bobbing and weaving and trying to, filibuster your answer. So please answer.
And just look at her face.
Man, I mean,
She's just like, oh, snap. I got caught. I don't know what to do. I don't know how to answer now.
just deny, deflect. Deny, deflect. Go back
Every
to
time.
go back to the regular video, bro. Deny and deflect. That's all they do. They never take responsibility of anything. They just deny and deflect. I agree, CW. Fire. They all need to be fired. I agree. These guys sitting here doing the exact same thing they accuse the other side of doing.
Yep.
You're exactly right, Chris Webster. I agree. That's right. That's what the House, she refused to do. Yep. The Republicans are very broad statement. We are all racist. No. Just those that follow anyone that is okay with removing Black history and get upset for the fact that Black history exists in America. And you want to erase all the racism that's happened throughout the years. Those are the people that we are calling racist. There are some people in the Republican Party who want to bring it back. They want to take it back from all these people from the far right. That's not what the Republican Party used to be, but right now it's all about hate, racism, and all of these cultural wars that they want to fight against the people. The Republican Party was formed by whites and Blacks because the Democrats wouldn't allow Black people into their party. Bro, are we going to talk about today, or are we going to live in 1850 something? Huh, Pinky Brain? Which year do you want to, what decade do you want to live in? You want to talk about 1940, 1950? We know in the 60s and 50s that Black people were Republicans. We know that. I wish y'all would stop regurgitating that bullshit. Come up with something new to say, bro. I'm sick of y'all saying that shit. We know the parties switched. Y'all switched. The Dixie Democrats went away and y'all became the Republicans. You didn't like what Lyndon B. Johnson was putting out, giving Black people their rights to civilly vote, civil rights to go into different restaurants. You did not like that, so y'all went to the Republican Party with Barry Goldwater and all the rest of those idiots. Stop saying that shit. People
Kim
are
Brooks
fucking.
is right.
We
MAGA
are
is its
educated.
own party.
Yeah, MAGA is like I said, the far right racist party, man. It's not the ideology that a lot of Republicans want, and a lot of Republicans have left the party because of the far right agenda that's going on today. You're right, Kim Brooks. In CW, any military person should know if they took the oath, they should know they should have been fired. You're right. They should have been fired. And if this would have happened to a Democrat, the Republicans would be on the edge screaming that they should be fired. And we all know that they would be calling for their heads. We all know that. You just proved my point by saying we need to stay out of the past. I didn't say we need to stay out of the past. You respect the past, but we're not going to be living at times when we know these things have changed. Why you keep on talking about Black fathers, man? What are you talking about?
He said we care more about what's going on than we do about having Black fathers.
Look,
in the
man, we're not
community, in
talking
the
about
homes.
community shit right now and families. We're talking about politics, my brother. I don't know what Black fathers have to do with politics, but we're talking about politics. Y'all are all over the place with the racism, man. I'm a Black father. I'm in my kids' home. What are you talking about? All the Black fathers I know are in their parent and their kids' lives. You don't know what you're talking about, man. Y'all perpetuate these stereotypes and then think that you're not racist. Like you live these stereotypes of, oh, the Black father is not in the home. But time after time, study after study have shown that the Black man is do more for their kids than most other groups. They're there in their kids' life than other groups. Go look at the studies, man, and stop being on this racist shit. This incident underscores concerns about the handling of classified information and the protocols in place to safeguard national security.
Yep. And the director of national intelligence, Tulsi Gabbard, testified to the House Intelligence Committee members Wednesday that the encrypted messaging app Signal comes pre-installed on government devices.
Oh, yeah, right. So within 10 minutes, Trump went from saying, I don't know anything about Signal. I wasn't involved in this. I just heard about it regarding the group chat leaks, to this was the best technology for the moment. Let's go ahead and play that clip of Trump backtracking on his former statements.
The use of Signal to communicate from senior officials.
Well, I don't know anything about Signal. I wasn't involved in this, but I just heard about it. It was, I guess, from what I understand, took place during, and it wasn't classified information. So this was not classified. Now, if it's classified information, it's probably a little bit different. But I always say you have to learn from every experience. They used a app, if you want to call it an app, that a lot of people use, a lot of people in government use, a lot of people in the media use. We've pretty much looked into it. It's pretty simple, to be honest. It's not, it's just something that can happen. It can happen, you can even prepare for it. It can happen. Sometimes people are hooked in and you don't know they're hooked in. They're hooked into your line and they don't even mean bad by it. But it's not a perfect technology. There is no perfect technology. The really good ones are very cumbersome, very hard to access. And I think we're going to look at, we always want to use the best technology. This was the best technology for the moment.
Man, I think that might have been the record for the number of excuses in under a minute. I have never seen or heard so many excuses in my motherfucking life. That man had about 95 excuses in a minute of time. Deflect, deny. Never, ever take responsibility. Mm-hmm. That is this man's philosophy.
Yep.
He 100% believes that he should never take responsibility. You have people under you that have made mistakes like this. Instead of you saying, we're going to fix it, we're going to do better, we're going to figure out what went wrong, and we're going to make somebody pay for what they have done. They're just not going to do that. I'm just CW, what you say? I'm sorry, American citizens, y'all had to put up with this craziness. You're right, man. CW is speaking the truth, man.
That's his MO.
CW is speaking the truth. It's just I don't understand, man. And then we just take the lies and keep going. Hello from Greece is just about money, brother. You right?
Yep.
You right, Canvey. I 100% agree. It's about money. No one cares about something other people's history. No one cares about brown people. Mm-hmm. The heartlessness today is it's another level, man.
And then look how they're gonna treat them for joining in the conversation.
Greece, stay out of the conversation. Yeah, right. I mean, this what they do. Greece, stay out of this big boy conversation. Isn't that what Marjorie Taylor Greene was talking to the reporter saying? We'll talk about that later. It's crazy.
Yep. Now, on the next day, Director of National Intelligence, Tulsi Gabbard, she backtracked on previous testimony that, she knew about the confidential military information in the Signal group chat. Her story changed overnight. Let's go ahead and play the clip of her backtracking.
It should be for 4.
Yes, Ranking Member. My answer yesterday was based on my recollection or the lack thereof on the details that were posted there. I was not, and what was shared today reflects the fact that I was not directly involved with that part of the Signal chat and replied at the end reflecting the effects, the very brief effects that the National Security Advisor had shared.
So it's your testimony that less than 2 weeks ago, you were on a Signal chat that had all of this information about F-18s and MQ-9 Reapers and targets on strike, and you in that 2-week period simply forgot that that was there. That's your testimony?
My testimony is I did not recall the exact details of what was included there.
That was not your testimony. Your testimony was that you were not aware of anything related to weapons packages, targets, and timing.
As the testimony yesterday continued on, there were further questions related to that, where I acknowledged that there was conversation about weapons, and I don't remember the exact wording that I used, but I did not recall the specific details that were included.
Oh my goodness. Go ahead and switch the camera, bro. Unbelievable,
man.
Unbelievable. Switch the story overnight. Don't know what she said yesterday. And you people have the nerve.
Don't
to
recall
try to take
what you
up
said less than 24 hours
24
ago.
hours ago. She has a different story. Like, this is ridiculous, man. Let's go. We got Zaire. Stop the drama. Republicans wouldn't shut up about Clinton's emails or Hunter Biden's laptop, saying they should be locked up. You are 100%
Absolutely right.
Now the story changes. Now, it's just a mistake. We didn't know. It's just a mistake. But you were talking about everybody else needs to get locked up. Like, dog, for real, pick up your last paycheck. You are right, CW. Then get up out of here.
Hey, you know what, Holy Moly Donut Shop? I don't want to be on the same level as some Tulsi Gabbard.
You see her, man, get up out of here.
Who wants to be that?
Man, get up out of here.
Not I.
Ain't nothing special about her.
I'm gonna be me, and I'm gonna continue to be me.
We had Pete Hegseth. Let's go ahead and play this clip of Pete Hegseth being a full hypocrite when it comes to Hillary Clinton's email server. After they yelled, lock her up for 4 years, we are supposed to look the other way during this era of highest concerns.
The people we rely on to do dangerous and difficult thing for us rely on one thing from us: that we will not reveal their identity and not be reckless with what the dangerous things they're doing for us. That's the national security implications of a private server that's unsecured. That's why we look at a guy like Snowden and say, he's not a hero, he's a traitor. He put lives at risk, and you can get people killed when you do that. Let me be clear, to quote the president, Hillary Clinton, if there was anyone other than Hillary Clinton, they would be in jail right now. Correct. For what has been done. Because the assumption is in the intelligence community, if you are using unclassified means, there is the potential for and likelihood that foreign governments are targeting those accounts and gathering intelligence from them, which means that individual and the others associated with them have been passing around through unsecure networks information, sources, and methods of people on the ground, covers compromised in real time. Yes. This is a real deal, full-blown national security scandal. Betrayed her country in doing so, supposedly for convenience, but actually so she could have a different set of standards and hide her conduct and the conduct of the Clinton Foundation, Benghazi, everything else, so she could stay away from and above the law. And it turns out foreign services want to know what our Secretary of State thinks. The technology that others can use once they've got into devices is to listen and see in real time. Who knows what they heard and what they have, and the kind of leverage that gives in negotiations or conversations when you know what our hand is and you can anticipate it or get in front of it, or you know our sources and methods, because we know aides to Hillary Clinton also removed markings so that they could send classified, sometimes secret, top secret information to her personal email, which our enemies were potentially reading in real time. That has consequences, including lives and reputation of this great country.
I'm not surprised that a military guy like yourself is fired up, because it's people like you who pay the price for this kind of
That's exactly right.
Extraordinary.
Yeah, I mean, he is the president of the United States, which does create complications, but it also increases the urgency. If the top man in the job handled classified documents this flippantly for that long, why was that the case? Was it really that he didn't know? Because when you take something out of a skiff, if you're a senator, you know exactly what you're doing. You know exactly what you're doing. You had to sneak it out. And you're moving it. You had to sneak it out. Or someone gave it to you with the wrong protocol, which you were complicit in. And then you don't even know how many you have, and you've clearly hidden them from the public. You're the president of the...
Yeah. Now you see, go ahead, bring us back. Yeah, you don't want to hear any more of that, huh? Holy moly! You don't want to see. You don't like that truth, huh? That hurts you. This guy he made his career going in on Hillary, talking about how she needs to pay for what she's done. Now it's his turn, and it's not a big deal. It's not a big deal. Just go about your day. We're okay. We just sent bombing information to a journalist. And then what did they do? They got mad. They got mad at the journalist
for publishing it when they included him on it.
They're the ones that made the mistake.
Wasn't it what I think they said it was Michael Waltz they were gonna was the one that added the journalist to the group chat?
He's the one that deserved to be fired the most. But Hegsteth, he should also be fired to me. Because he shouldn't have been in the position he's in anyway, because he's an alcoholic. Well, let me see, CW. Well, the things is you got to understand. He used to work on Fox News. Yeah, I mean, it's unbelievable that this dude is in the place he's in, and he used to work on Fox News.
Right.
This is the type of stuff that we have going on right now. We got broadcast journalists running the country, man. They're the people that's running our defenses. I mean, y'all love to talk about what the other side did, but never take responsibility for what you have going on. And I see the hail Trump that you have over here to just show y'all Nazis. Straight up Nazis, man. So
I don't know, CW. Who looking at Fox News? I'm guessing it's these racist people that's in the comment section over here.
It has to be, man. So let's go ahead and run that first clip about Greenland real fast.
Denmark, which controls Greenland,
it's
it's not doing its job and it's not being a good ally.
Without asking. It's too much. Greenland is not for sale.
US President Donald Trump continues to insist on annexing their land.
We need Greenland for national security and international security. So I think we'll go as far as we have to go.
Nearly all Greenlanders oppose becoming part of the United States.
I hear that, as far as we have to go.
Right.
As far as we have to go.
He's talking and everybody was saying I was crazy because I'm saying this dude is might go military on this.
Yep. So, we're going to shift gears to international relations, as Vice President J.D. Vance recently did visit Greenland.
Mm-hmm.
His visit was yesterday. Describing his first visit impression as cold as shit. During his visit to the Pituffik space base, Vance criticized Denmark for underinvesting in Greenland security amid ongoing discussions about President Trump about the U.S. taking over Danish territory. So let's go ahead and play the clip of Vance speaking about the possibilities of the U.S. acquiring Greenland.
I think it should be 6.
Denmark, which controls Greenland, it's not doing its job and it's not being a good ally. So you have to ask yourself, how are we going to solve that problem, solve our own national security? If that means that we need to take more territorial interest in Greenland, that is what President Trump is going to do, because he doesn't care about what the Europeans scream at us. He cares about putting the interests of America's citizens first.
American citizens first.
It's insane, man. We're really trying to take over these people country. Go ahead, bring it back.
It's just sad.
Yeah, this visit has heightened concerns among Greenlanders about becoming pawns in the geopolitical competition between the U.S., Russia, and China. The prospect of U.S. takeover raises questions about the future governance and autonomy of the island. U.S. Commerce Secretary Lutnick Green is talking about Greenland in a much easier way. Greenland is going to join America, he says. If the people of Greenland want to vote to join America, we have to remind them how awesome it is to be a part of America. Go ahead and run that clip, bro.
Their stories are just all over the place.
Now, Greenland is much easier.
What they
right?
want to do
We
is
are
crazy.
a great democracy. Greenland is going to join America if the people in Greenland want to vote to join America. right? That makes sense. But you know what we have to do? We're going to remind the people of Greenland how awesome it is to be part of America, as opposed to getting disrespected from...
Disrespected, man. These people don't want anything to do with what's going on between us, Russia, and China. These people just trying to live their lives, man.
Yep.
And we're trying to put them in the middle of all of this mess. They don't want to be a part of America. I know we think that we're the greatest and we're the best, but people look at us and say, man, I don't want anything to do with that.
You know, these developments reflect the administration's aggressive stance on expanding U.S. influence and the control over strategic territories. Run the clip of J.D. Vance stating that the security of the U.S. is at stake.
This territory, Greenland, really matters for the security of the United States. It's extremely vulnerable right now. And if the people of Greenland were willing to partner with the United States, and I think that they ultimately will partner with the United States, we could make them much more secure. We could do a lot more protection, and I think they'd fare a lot better economically as well. This has to happen. And the reason it has to happen, I hate to say it, is because our friends in Denmark have not done their job in keeping this area safe. They just haven't done it. It's very simple. For all of our friends in the American media who attack the administration for pointing out the obvious, what is the alternative? To give up the North Atlantic? To give up the Arctic? To China, to Russia, and to other regimes that don't have the best interest of the American people at heart? We have no other option. We need to take a significant position in Greenland to keep the people here safe, but to keep our own country safe too.
Ridiculous. Go ahead, bring us back, bro. Ridiculous,
The name
man.
of this podcast should be Poor Me Podcast. No, bro, it says Habari. You know what that means? It means, what's the news?
That's real.
What's the news?
That is real.
That's what we're talking about.
CW
The
says
news.
if they want to build a base over there, just ask. That's all. And don't be a bully. I agree they don't have to be a bully. I think we do have a base over there.
We
I
do.
think we were saying. But I'll go ahead, switch the camera. We have to be, there's better ways to take care of these things. And I don't know what Trump thinks needs to be done, but the way he's going about trying to get Greenland is just improper, illegal, and immoral. And I just don't like anything that he's doing, and just bullying these people when they want nothing to do with us is just ridiculous. And it's a sad day in America when we're trying to go back to the days of colonialism and taking over people's properties and taking over people's countries because we want them for strategic planning and defense. This is ridiculous. So that wraps up the stories for this week's stories. Thank you for tuning in to Habari News Weekly. I don't know why it's doing that, but we got more stories.
Yeah,
we got
we
more
do.
stories. Let's go into the next one here. What
Yeah,
we
we're
got?
gonna go ahead and get into the lighter side of the politics.
Mm-hmm. So it's back on me. Good evening. Welcome back to this. We're going to get into some things to kind of laugh about in politics, man. Where we sift through the political sandbox to bring you the most, shall we say, entertainment moments of the week. This week we got a couple clips of Marjorie Taylor Greene, man, and one of Kristi Noem, and we just want to laugh at these people for a minute because they're just ridiculous, man. First up is Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene. She had a bit of a, I shall say, diplomatic hiccup during a press conference when British reporter Martha Kellner dared to ask her about Signal chat scandal. Greene's response was less keep calm and carry on, and more get out and stay out. Pretty ridiculous reaction she had So let's go ahead and play that clip.
Anybody else?
Should the defense secretary?
What country are you? Wait, what country are you
from? The UK.
Okay, we don't give a crap about your opinion and your reporting. Why don't you go back to your country where you have a major migrant problem?
Okay,
and you no. You should care about your own borders.
Do you care about American lives being put at risk?
Let me tell you something. Do you care about people from your country? What about all the women that are raped by migrants?
Do you care
No,
about
by migrants. No, do you care? Okay, you're done.
Do you care about American lives being put at risk?
You know what? I don't care.
Service members fighting for your country.
I don't care about your fake news. Do you have a relevant question? Yeah, this is an American journalist. Thank you.
I'm an American, and I'd like to hear your answer to what she's asking.
I'm not answering her question because I don't care about her network. If you would like to ask, I can answer.
Do you have any concerns whatsoever about the complete disregard of operational security from the top level of this administration?
You want to know about complete disregard about operational security? You should talk about the Biden administration and how they ripped our borders open to terrorist, cartel, child sex trafficking, human trafficking, and drug trafficking across our borders for 4 years. The Trump administration is doing a great job, and I stand by their statements. I stand by their statements. My comment to you is I'm thankful to President Trump that he is leading us out of wars, that he's ending the war in Ukraine, where American lives could have been killed if Joe Biden was still president today, whether he liked it or not. We're talking about NPR and PBS today. We're talking about fake news that was funded with federal funding from American taxpayers. That's what this is about today, not journalists from the UK that should care about their...
A journalist is being vilified for exposing failings in the way that your government conducts itself.
Go ahead and kick us back, bro. That was... I'm so embarrassed that that's a representation of America. I'm so embarrassed, man, that people think that they can treat other people like this. It's I have to agree with Aiden. Bleach, blind, bad, built, butch, body. She's ridiculous. I just don't understand it. What is wrong with that lady, man? And these are the people that y'all are clapping. These are the people that y'all are putting in power. The Republican Party needs to check themselves, man, because this is ridiculous. You can't answer questions. Only thing you could do is talk about Joe Biden. The man hasn't been president for 3-4 months now. They're still talking about Biden. Just deflect, blame, never take responsibility. Hey, holy moly, if you are honored that she represents, you have issues. Straight up, man. You have issues, bro. You need to go check yourself, man. Like, for real, go talk to a psychiatrist. Because, man, if you are proud of that mess, you have fucking problems. Go talk to somebody. I know they have psychiatrists online, and they have help for people who have special problems, because you have special problems, my brother. Because that is straight up special. If you can't sit here and say that was disgusting, then you are not the type person I want to deal with. And that is on the real. That was terrible. The lady's just doing her fucking job, man. I don't understand people like this. She's trying to do her job. You are a representation of America. She's asking you questions about something that is relevant of today, and you can't answer it. Go back to your country, and I'm happy for that reporter that said, answer her question. Answer her fucking question. I want to know. But nah, they don't want to answer those fucking questions. I don't need evidence, bro. We all seen the text messages. Everybody's seen them. Let me see. For some reason, they don't understand Biden out of the office now. Can't blame him forever. Trump is in charge. Yeah.
They want to blame Biden for everything.
I mean, Biden can't. I mean, it's not Biden's fault anymore. He left. Are they still trying to blame the economy on this dude?
Right.
Oh, well, I got an economy. No, the economy was strong under Biden. We have seen nothing but losses in the stock market since this dude got in office. Oh, and it'll be okay. It'll take a little time. Y'all cried for 4 years when Biden was in there about everything, even though the stock market was hitting highs. Y'all still was crying. Oh, eggs. I can't afford eggs. It's Biden's fault. Oh, inflation is Biden's fault. Are we telling them, hey, it's COVID? You know, COVID, they messed us up. We had a lot of issues with supply chains. We had a lot of issues with products. No, we ain't trying to hear that. It wasn't that.
Now that we have issues with tariffs, we're going to have a lot of things sitting at port, waiting on customs, because they fired everybody, right?
They fired everybody.
They fired everybody. So that's just stuff that's sitting in customs, that's sitting at the port waiting for them to go through it. But now that they have less staff, it's going to take longer to go through that stuff. So it's going to take longer for you to get the products that you ordered.
I have to agree, Zaire. They have the memory of a goldfish.
Don't they?
They memory. They straight up, man. They got the memory of a goldfish. Man, these people, man, I will never understand, man. Never. These are I have never seen ugly politicians like this, man. And then as if she were channeling her inner teenager, she hit Kellner with the classic, I don't care about your fake news. I'm so sick of that. Honestly, I have expected her to stick out her tongue and stomp her feet. That's the way she was acting.
Right. It's like watching a reality TV show, but with actual consequences.
Right.
Speaking of which, let's go ahead and roll a clip of those who missed this master class in diplomacy.
This one is about
Marjorie Taylor's Green Exchange.
No, we already did that. We already ran that
Kellner.
one. This one is the next one is Kristi Noem.
Okay.
And she took a little trip down to El Salvador, mega prison, the CECOT, and boy did she make an impression, man.
Yep, she stood in front of the packed cell, tighter than a can of sardines, and declared that if you come to our country illegally, this is going to be one of the consequences
switch the camera, bro.
that you could face.
All right, switch it back. Because nothing deters illegal immigration like a photo op in a foreign prison. I mean, who needs comprehensive immigration reform when you have Instagram, Photoshop? Go ahead.
Yeah. I mean, and let's not forget the cherry on the top. She accessorized her prison visit with a $50,000 Rolex.
Wow.
Cosmograph Daytona. When you're touring a facility criticized for human rights abuses, it's important to keep track of time in style.
It's like saying, let them eat cake, but make it fashion. Like she doesn't care about these people, man.
All right, so let's go ahead and roll the footage of Kristi Noem's El Salvadorian
I also want
adventure.
everybody to know, if you come to our country illegally, this is one of the consequences you could face. First of all, do not come to our country illegally. You will be removed and you will be prosecuted. But know that this facility is one of the tools in our toolkit that we will use.
Man, that's a lot of political theater, man. Go ahead and bring us back.
I mean,
we remember in the world of politics, sometimes you just have to sit back, grab some popcorn, and enjoy the show. And it seems like this is one of the situations, man.
Yep.
So that's the main thing that we need. We're seeing with these people in this.
You gotta laugh to keep from crying with everything that's going on in this administration.
Or you would drive yourself crazy, because the thing about Trump is they believe in to rapid fire stories. To just keep moving, keep doing things for the media can never catch up. They got so many stories, so many things going on that we can't stay on top of them.
Yep.
That's their plan. Like, they don't plan to govern. They just plan to misdirect. They just plan to fool people. They just plan to play into the cultural wars and the hate that a lot of people have, because they hate transgender people. They hate black people. They hate brown people. They hate immigrants. Those are the things they play into. See, like they say, Lyndon Johnson, let them think that somebody else is worse than them. You can take every dollar that they have. And this is the racist white man we're talking about here. As long as you think that they can look down on somebody else, they feel great. Even though the stock market is down, 700 points it dropped yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
Products, cars will be costing more. We're seeing $300 to $3,000 on the uptick on the prices of cars because of tariffs.
And this is just for a used car.
Yeah, man. And they talking about we're winning. How the fuck are we winning if we can't even afford groceries? And this man is doing more things to put it in place to make it even harder to be able to afford groceries.
The Holy Moly Donut Shop says, but we win.
No, man, this is called losing, my brother. This is called losing. That's what this is called. You're not winning though by any man. Not winning at all, man. I don't know what they're talking about. They feel it like I said, man. They have this ideology of hate.
Yep.
As long as they're owning the libs, they feel okay, man. Go ahead, switch the cam. They're all right. Long as they're owning the libs.
YouTuber says hate. Keep on doubling down on that bullshit strategy. Your DEI strategy lost. Get over it.
Yeah, hate definitely won, man. I agree with you, Mr. YouTuber. You won't even put your real name because you feel ashamed of the mess that you be saying online.
Right.
You don't have the balls to put your real name behind what you're saying for real because you know you might lose your job. You don't have the nuts to be a real man and be the person that you are. Put your picture on there. Stop being a chump. You want to say racist shit? Say it with a straight face, punk. Be for real with it. Why you gotta hide? Why is your name YouTuber? Like, this is why we know that you people are wimps, man. I'm sick of it, bro.
They're so scared that somebody's gonna find out who they are and go back to their employer and get them fired. They're scared to lose their jobs. That's why they're not posting their face.
Yeah, they don't want to lose
That's
their
why
job.
they post under an anonymous name.
Yeah, that's
YouTuber.
why they do it. That's why they do
it. They don't want nobody to know who they are.
Yep. Marie Bird said Republicans said buying your own chickens is the solution. Hey, I ain't buying no goddamn chickens, man. Think I'm finna put a chicken coop in my backyard? You got me fucked up.
And here's the thing, even if you do buy your own chickens, there is a chance that those chickens in your backyard will also get the bird flu. Because why? Birds are flying over your yard every day. Those birds could also be carrying the bird flu, which in turn give your chickens the bird flu. You know, chickens, poultry, they're birds, just like turkey, they're birds.
Yeah,
birds
man.
that fly are birds. They all are susceptible to the bird flu.
Yeah, I mean, that should be common sense to anybody. But let me see.
To them, it's not.
David Aponte, Donald Trump has reduced illegal immigration by over 90%. Is that what you call political theater? Then let the show continue. I have to 100% agree. Yes, Donald Trump has reduced immigration. The border is down to 0%. Nobody wants to come here. But there's also,
and it's like I said last week, nobody wants to be associated with America, especially with the administration that we have currently.
No,
with somebody that's saying we don't want you here. We only want the people that look like us to come here.
Right. But yeah, man, I have to give it to you. Yes, illegal immigration has gone down. Go ahead and switch the cameras, and it has come down. We can't say that it has. It hasn't. Biden did not do a good job of cutting down the amount of people that was coming to the border, and the Republicans jumped all over it. He waited way too long. You know, he did try to put a bill in. Donald Trump blocked it. But he should have did that a long time ago because they saw it was a weakness and they went for it.
But here's my question, though. Even if Biden did something about it a long time ago, would we still have had Donald Trump step in to tell the Republicans to turn it down so that way he could do something about it when he got into office, to make himself look like the savior, to make himself look like, oh, I'm the king of immigration. I made immigration best.
I don't know. Only thing I know is that he should have did something earlier. He waited too long. I can be truthful. Yeah, a lot of us like to act like we're just liberals in this, but dude, the truth is the truth. Biden dropped the ball.
He did.
He should have done a better job. Period. That's what it has to be. I feel sorry for the camera, dude. What are you talking about? Dude is crazy. Yeah, man. I have to give it to him, man. On that, man. And you are right, Zari. We are going across the world, trying to figure out ways to get more eggs. They don't want to look at the disease and try to fight the disease. They just trying to figure out ways to get eggs from different places. The prices have come down a little bit in some places, but we are seeing inflation in other products because of the tariffs that are being put in place. So we're getting hurt in other ways. So the eggs aren't even a big deal anymore when it comes to other things that are killing us right now.
Exactly. And I mean, I can see the difference in the egg prices. 2 weeks ago, a dozen eggs in Arizona was almost $15.
Mm-hmm.
Now that dozen eggs is like $7. The price has been cut in half.
Mm-hmm.
But guess what? There's more supply for the eggs.
Yeah,
the eggs aren't scarce on the shelves anymore.
Yeah, it's getting a little better.
It's getting better.
It is.
Being that the chickens are being able to get their antibiotics that they need, it's helping a whole lot.
Yeah, I have to agree. I mean, the prices are coming down slowly. We should have normal egg prices in a while, but in a little bit. Go ahead and switch it up, bro. But we know that's not something that the president,
holy moly,
that the president really that's not something the president really controls. Joe Biden was being blamed. We fought for him and tried to say it wasn't his fault, but we should see that it isn't. And the thing to do is we've been blaming Trump only because they were blaming Biden. Now people were blaming Trump for gas, and that's only because everybody was blaming Biden.
Right.
We all know that the president really has not too much to do about those things. Now, when it comes to the tariffs, he does add on taxes onto the money. That tax does come back to the people. That's going to hurt us. Products are going to rise. So, and then it's also putting in a place where people that are investing do not feel very stable about the economy, about the investments that's going on. So the market is shaky right now.
Right.
And we have to figure out a way that people feel better, because right now the consumer reports are low. Everybody think recession is coming, and this is the mode that we're in right now, and that's just in 3 months. So gas is at its lowest in past. Okay. Biden was controlled by strings. Every president is controlled to a certain degree, that they have certain people behind them, that they are trying to push an agenda, just like President Trump with 2025. There's an agenda behind every president that's being pushed by all type people. Didn't make it any different between Biden, because you have to come up with an agenda, and it has to be a group of people that agree on that agenda. I was prescribed as well, because I want unity. We are not each other's enemy. The powers that be hate us all, as we need each other and the Lord if we are to make it. You're 100% correct, S.E. Mac. We need each other, man. We don't have to hate. It's not going to rule the world. We can't change the world with hate. It's only love that can change the world, man. All of us coming together and being on the same page and caring about each other and exactly what we want to do to make the countries better. I'm not here to hate on people because they're Republican. I'm here to inform people and let them know that some of the hate that's coming out of the party.
J48, there's nothing wrong with purchasing products made by Americans first. However, in today's climate,
Mm-hmm.
we are in a market where majority of our manufacturing is outsourced to other countries
Mm-hmm.
because of the low taxes, which is why Trump has placed tariffs on things. He's trying to get people to bring their manufacturing facilities back to America.
Which is going to take on
4 to 5
years to
for
build a
that to
warehouse.
happen.
And then you got to hire everyone. By the time he gets out of office, the next president will see all of these, all of the outcome of the tariffs, because a lot of companies are going to want to get into the American market. They are going to want to get into America, but a lot of problems about the building manufacturing here. Number one, manufacturer does not hire the same amount of jobs that it used to in the 70s and the 80s, 60s. A lot of robots are going to be doing the jobs, unfortunately, when it comes to these manufacturing plants. We don't have the ability to hire as many people as it used to. So manufacturing, unfortunately, isn't going to save us like the president thinks so. Because of technology, because of the way things are going for the future with AI. You see these fucking robots that Boston Dynamics is building?
Right.
Man, dude, I watched the video. The robot's running, it's flipping, fighting. These robots are doing much more than they were doing just 2 years ago. So we have to be ready for these things that's going to come. And I don't know if manufacturing is the answer to save us. Right now, we are a service economy. Most of our jobs are in the service industry.
Service and hospitality.
What's going to happen when robots start taking the service industry jobs?
Right.
Companies are going to invest in what's going to help them make money. They don't really care about the consumer.
They're going to invest in what's going to help them get to their bottom line at a faster rate.
And that's all you can do.
And if a robot can go in and make your meal for you at McDonald's faster than a human can make your meal at McDonald's, what do you think McDonald's is going to do? They're going to incorporate that AI or robotic technology into their system, into their everyday operations, which is going to hurt us as Americans being able to, majority of us are going to have to at least go back to school or go to school for the next generations that are coming up in order to be able to service these machines.
Yeah.
That's going to be the next big thing. Us being engineers, technology-based individuals. That's what we need to get towards.
And it's impossible for the country to move in a direction at the same time when we do not have an education system that's federally based. I know a lot of people thought that the Department of Education puts curriculum in place for different states, but every state is its own entity when it comes to education.
It is.
And the one thing that other countries have over us is they're able to put in
they have
programs,
a federal or a national curriculum that everyone
that they can put in place. If they say, hey, we want our kids to start learning how to code, we want our kids to have the ability to fix these robots. India is putting that in place. We got China putting it in place. We even got African countries, Nigeria, they're putting things in place to teach their kids how to work on these functions that are going to be the future. And we're doing nothing. We're doing nothing. We're defunding education when we should be putting things in place that should give people the ability to fix these computers, these robots, program these robots, create software apps. This is the future, man. I don't know if we're going to be able to hold off and be a service economy for long. How long will we be able to live off these things? It doesn't matter if it's a Democrat or a Republican. These are problems that we're going to face as a country. We can sit around and point fingers and blame each other all we want, but we're all in the same boat when this stuff happens. And what are we going to do to change it? Right now, it seems to blame the poor people, blame the working man, go against unions. Those are the routes that we are taking right now. And to me, those things they're not helping. Trump wanted, yes, you're right, Bobby Brown. Trump's mission, it seems, is to get rid of the educational systems, dumbing down the communities, dumbing down the populace. How does that help us to build the computers of the robots of tomorrow if we can't even make it through high school? Yeah, I agree. The U.S. education system in a lot of states, in a lot of Republican states, is horrible. What are we going to do? We're going to take money away from it? How are we making it better by just taking away funding? Now we're seeing schools with special ed kids, schools with kids with special needs. They have to go to different places because the schools that they were in, they can't afford it without the government money, without the federal dollars that they were getting. So now these kids with special needs got to go to different schools. This is not good. Bobby Brown says Trump want to bring back coal. He does. This dude wants to live in the 20th century so bad. He wants us to go back to 1945 so bad. I mean, he's taken away so many things that when it comes to segregation, he took away segregation laws from contractors, federal contractors. Everything that he's putting in place is taking us back into the past, where I guess America was great. I'm not sure what his plan is, but it seems horrible. David Aponte, the economy has very little to do with the president and more to do with the 37th. You are correct. And how are we going to fix that $37 trillion in debt? By giving $4 trillion to the rich in tax breaks. They're firing all the poor people, but they're trying to give the rich people more breaks. That's not going to help to lower the deficit. To me, we need to raise taxes on the rich. We need to. You have a deficit. What happened in the 90s when they lowered taxes? I mean, when they raised taxes? George Bush raised taxes. Clinton did not remove the taxes that was already in place. What happened after Clinton left? We had a surplus of money before George Bush fumbled it all away. Obama comes in. He didn't do too much greater to get it down. Trump comes in, another $75 trillion. So, I mean, it's been bad for the last three presidents. Obama, he tried to do some things, but he spent a lot of money. Bush spent a whole lot of money because we had a surplus with Bush. So we have to do something better to get this debt down, man. Inflation has little, yeah, man, I agree. And we got to figure it out. And are you implying that Donald Trump is right? Yeah, we said that a long time ago. We're already over that. Clinton shipped all the manufacturing jobs to China. He did, but he did make the NAFTA trade agreement. He did make the agreement with China to start building with China. Bill Clinton did do that. A lot of people got rich off that also. Now I can't say I'm a trade expert, but a lot of people got rich. But China got rich too. So I maybe that was incorrect, but I don't know. A lot of people sent their manufacturing to China for they can avoid paying Americans, so they can have a bigger bottom line. You know, we companies don't have to do things, but they do. They do them because they figured they're gonna save some money. So I don't know. Just like you say, yeah, Michael, manufacturing is a middle/low class, which affects Americans. Yeah, I mean it's a middle class and now probably a low class job because the amount of money that you're going to get out of out of a manufacturing job is not going to pay the bills anymore. And even in China, it's becoming an issue because they are getting into a point where more people are getting into the middle class. So they're going to run into the same issues that we ran into, where you can't pay people. So their manufacturing is going to go off to somewhere else. So that's how things happen. That's why they're trying to become so close with Africa right now, because of those things. Because they're going to need a place to send their manufacturing, because their people are going to get to a point where they're not going to want to do the things that even Americans didn't want to do. Because that's what happened when you build a strong middle class. What we have next, babe? It's you, right?
Yeah. This week.
Oh, my bad. I did want to do this. I got a video of Representative Justin J. Pearson showing us some passion for losing someone close to him because of guns, and the ability which he fights for gun control in Tennessee. I want to go ahead and play that clip of the passionate Justin Pearson, and I just love how dude goes for the politics and everything. Do we bring that in? Let me see.
Is it 0? Maybe 8?
Yeah, no, it's not. Go ahead and hit add scene. I know it's in there. I brought it in. Hit add scene. Media. There it goes at the top. Right.
Things going on, but you have not. So I don't think it's fair for you to come in front of this committee and lecture us on hard work and convictions and hard work for our committee. So when I understand where you're at and what you're doing and why, but at the end of the day, we've been here working. We've been on the House floor voting on bills. We've taken the tough questions. We've taken the tough votes. Yeah. And we're doing so. So I don't think it's fair for you to come here and lecture this committee on hard work when we've been up here doing the hard work.
Thank you, Chair Farmer, for your comments. They incense me. They make me very, very angry. Not just because of the lack of regard, but the disrespect and the same denigrating tone that you used on the State House floor when the vote to expel me happened. It's disrespectful. It's unbecoming, and it's beneath the standard of a person who's supposed to represent in the Tennessee House of Representatives. It is a pathetic excuse for you to not answer the question of why we are doing nothing about the gun violence epidemic than to personally attack me. But let me explain to you what I have been doing, Representative, since you asked. My brother, Temperance Darnell Pearson, one of the loves of my life, passed away from gun suicide on December 1st of 2024. And since that happened, it shattered my family like gun violence has shattered so many families. Shattered my nephew's lives, my mother, my father, my other brothers who are remaining. I buried my brother. I planned for his entire funeral. My fiance made his obituary. I made sure that he was taken care of, even in death. That's what I've been doing. But also, not just that, I went to all of my nephew's schools. I met with their principals and their teachers to ensure that they are okay. I gave them and made sure that they had grief counseling and that they're seeing a psychiatrist. That's what I've been doing. And while you're talking about hard work, you need to realize that our job is not just in this state house with these marble floors. Our jobs are on the streets and in the communities that we serve. And so while you've been here passing bills that have been hurting transgender children, while you've been here passing bills that have been hurting the poor, hurting the marginalized, hurting the disenfranchised, while you've been here passing bills that have not ended poverty, while you've been here passing bills that have not helped people who need Medicaid expansion, while you've been here doing the hard work of making sure that our state is not the state that it can be, because you have decided.
Representative Pearson.
Reality of our school rhetoric.
Representative Pearson.
That's what I
Representative Pearson.
seem to understand my life better than I do. You need to understand that hard work isn't just sitting there and shutting up and passing a bill. It's doing the hard work of justice and love and mercy.
Okay.
We need to pass better laws.
Representative Pearson.
And fight for a state where everybody is able to live more freely.
Go ahead, bring us up. Yeah, man. Passionate argument on the floor there in Tennessee.
Hey, he's absolutely right in every bit of every word he said.
100% right. 100% right. The guns in the community is ridiculous.
From Holy Moly. Remember, it's the gun's fault, guys.
Well, what put the bullet in his head? Was it his finger that had the bullet, or was it the gun? What are you talking about? Why would it be suspended?
Because the video we just played.
They didn't like that?
Nope.
Oh,
submit appeal.
Yeah, submit appeal. It's all good. Just hit submit. Goodness. Don't worry about it. What you got?
This week, Elon and the political groups that he supports are heavily funding the Wisconsin Supreme Court race as Tesla fights a state law that prevents them from opening dealerships. The company, which has struggled for years to secure an exemption, filed a lawsuit in January challenging the prohibition. Days later, Elon Musk backed political action committees began pouring in over $17 million into the campaign of conservative candidate Brad Schmiel.
Shady shit, man.
While Elon himself donated $3 million to the Wisconsin GOP, the race, which has surpassed $80 million in spending, could determine the court's ideological balance and potentially influence Tesla's lawsuit if it reaches high courts.
Good, and you can tell right here is a story of people using politics to help their personal gain. He can't put go ahead, switch it. He can't put car lots in Wisconsin. So he's trying to get the person that he wants in charge so he can get them to pass a law so he can put them in Wisconsin.
But it's not just about, that he's in politics and trying to get a car dealership, right? It's the fact that Wisconsin law, similar to those of nearly 20 states, prohibits vehicle manufacturers like Tesla from operating dealerships, favoring third-party sellers. Tesla argues that this restriction violates economic liberty rights and exists only to protect independent dealers from competition. The state's dealership association opposes Tesla's efforts, emphasizing the importance of consumer advocacy. Musk's involvement has drawn criticism, with Schmiel's opponents accusing him of trying to buy a favorable ruling. Meanwhile, Schmiel insists that he would remain impartial, while his opponent, Susan Crawford, has also received significant donations from Democratic donors, including George Soros and Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker. The election set for April 1st, which is in 2 days, is seen as a key political battleground with implications beyond Tesla, including cases on abortion rights and redistricting.
Yeah, man.
And and they were saying, in the thing that, with manufacturers not being able to put their dealerships out, that was a big thing, because back in the day, manufacturers would outsource the selling of their vehicles to a third-party entity, which is what all Musk has to do.
Right.
It's outsource. You're manufacturing the product.
Okay.
Just give it to somebody else to sell it for you, and you take a cut out of the profit.
He doesn't want to do that. He wants to own all his car lots, and he doesn't want other people to have control of his car lots.
And that's why he's trying to buy the elections in Wisconsin.
Right, because the way it used to be set up is that you go through a different company. If you see, all the car lots are always through another company who own the car lot, and then you sell the cars from that car lot, for that person can be able to make money off selling your product. But Tesla does not want to do that. They want to own the rights to sell their cars. They don't want anybody to have the third-party rights to sell what they're doing. Right. Wisconsin doesn't allow that. So this is
it's not just Wisconsin. 20 other states don't allow it.
Right. So it's something that now, so he's trying to pay his way and buy his way so he can get his way.
Right.
And to believe and to see Republicans okay with this, when these guys are buying, and they are always crying about George Soros and all these other people, but we seen Elon go up here and give money to people, and they are okay with it. They have no problem. So it's very, very weird that these people are taking money. Like, this is okay.
Right.
Like, this is, I can't believe this isn't illegal. But this is what's going on, man. So it's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
So hopefully he loses, and the person that he's trying to put in place doesn't win, or he's going to get his way.
Yep.
And we're turning more and more into a
Communistic.
oligarchy controlled country.
Yep.
The rich just get what they want because they have the money to pay off the voters.
Exactly.
And that's crazy.
And that's exactly what Elon did this time around in the first place, because that's what he did. He paid voters in Pennsylvania $1 million each just to register to vote.
I mean, he was
for
doing
a
that.
Republican.
That's what he's doing.
And he's going to continue to pay people.
We gonna have to put laws in place, man, to get to stop this.
Exactly.
I don't care what, just like you say, AC Mac. It doesn't matter what side you're on. We should not let these lobbyists, these rich people, all of these elites coming in making decisions. This should not be the way.
Nobody voted for Elon to be in office, so what's he doing there?
Man, I wish I know. I wish I knew.
What he's doing there is Bobby. He's advising Trump because he helped Trump win the election. He paid people to vote for Trump.
Yeah, I mean that's crazy. If could you imagine if Hillary Clinton was had George Soros paying voters, how the Republicans would lose their minds?
Right.
But it's always a double standard. There's always some type of
What do you think they
posture
would have
going
said
on.
had Kamala had George Soros paying?
Exactly.
people?
They would be losing their mind. So, it's we have to be fair, man. We can't be unfair and be one-sided. If you don't like the elites, you shouldn't like the elites on the left or the right.
Exactly.
It shouldn't be, the elites on the right are cool because they agree with me.
Right.
And the ones on the left are bad.
Yep.
Come on, switch it up.
This week,
You have to hurry up because we're gonna.
Yeah, I get it. Secretary of State Marco Rubio announced this week that the U.S. has revoked over 300 visas as part of a crackdown on immigrants engaging in political activism.
Craziness, man.
Most of the affected visas are for students. Though some of the visitor visas are also being revoked, while some cases involve criminal activity, the policy has drawn criticism after the detention of Ramesia Orsturk, a Tufts University student facing deportation for expressing pro-Palestinian views.
Yeah.
Rubio defended the move as asserting the student visas are meant for education, not activism.
Well, I have to disagree, man. You could be pro-Palestinian and not pro-Hamas. You could be pro not seeing kids get murdered and be anti-terrorist. You can be on the same. That can happen. You can be against Hamas and not want to see kids get killed every day.
Right.
You could be against Hamas and still be for Palestinian women. You can be for kids, little kids. That people want to see that. People don't want to see kids dying because Israel don't like what they're doing. Man, dude, it's a tough situation. I hate to see what's going on. I just wish that they would stop bombing and killing so many kids. They have to do this with a fine-tooth comb. Right. Find the people that they need, but they're just indiscriminately bombing.
Yep. And Rubio also said that those that are involved in these disruptive protests are risk losing their visas. He also emphasized that visa approval and revocations are discretionary decisions made by the U.S. government. The American Association of University Professors has filed a lawsuit against the Trump administration, arguing that the crackdown threatens free speech and could extend to other controversial topics. AAUP President Todd Wolfson warned that targeting international students sets a precedent for broader attacks on academic freedom and political expression. That's exactly what I was just about to say. So what if I, a Black woman who had something to say that was, hey, they shouldn't be, Hamas was wrong for what they did.
Right.
Am I going to be deported? Where are you going to deport me to?
Man,
because in the way I look in society, when I'm out in public by myself, people don't think I'm a Black woman. Right. The first thing they think is that I'm a foreigner.
Right.
I'm Lebanese or Arabic or Mexican.
I don't know, man. Like I said, man, I just think that it's sad that we're taking away something that everyone is saying is so important, which is free speech.
Exactly. And these students that come over here on student visas,
Mhm.
you're on a student visa, which is something that is a valid document in America that affords you the rights that all Americans have, including free speech.
Yeah, but they're trying to take that away. They don't want foreigners to have they can't express their concerns. They can't.
But the whole purpose of them coming here is to get away from their countries who are oppressing
Not
their
all.
views,
Not always.
or something that's troubling, right?
Not always. Some people just come here to come to school. Some people just maybe they just want to get into a better place or a better school,
Right.
or
That's
they
what I'm
just
saying.
came here because
They're
want.
wanting a better life.
Not always. Sometimes it's just they came to America to forward their education or whatever the situation is. It's not always that. But I agree they should not be persecuted for their views as long as they're not helping terrorists and doing anything violent. Then they should be able to be here and say their side and say their views.
Right.
There's no reason why somebody should be put out of the country because they don't agree with Israel killing all the kids. But hey, that's just crazy to me. But dude was saying we switch too much on the topics. You just got to keep up. You know what I'm saying? We talk about the topics pretty long time. We do have a time limit. We don't want to be here all day. So, but we do appreciate you though, even though we may not agree with shit you say. We appreciate you though, bro. Let's go ahead and get into some comic books real fast, man. Before we do our thing, let's
Hot mess.
All right. Let's do the hot mess first. My bad.
Get ready for the week's Hollywood Hot Mess with Aisha Rowan.
No one, but if you would like to sponsor us, please email us at info@habarientertainment.com, or you can send us a DM. We will curate a package directly for you, your business, and your brand.
Let's do it.
So this week's hot mess is Sexy Red. She's facing a new lawsuit that could make her child drop-offs rather awkward. Her kid's grandmother is accusing the superstar of sending fans to attack her home. According to legal documents filed on Monday, Nicole Barnes claims that Sexy Red shared her address while sending out a war cry to her large social media following in December of 24, instructing them to kick in the door of her home and do her and her family harm. Because of the mounting stress, Barnes says that she now attends therapy sessions.
Oh, God.
And is fearing for her safety. She is suing Sexy Red for assault and infliction of emotional distress and is seeking more than $5 million in damages from her.
Oh, man, that's definitely a mess. Holy moly said I hit Sexy Red if I had a few drinks in me.
I bet you would. That Grey Goose gonna make you loose, ain't it?
Hey, man, I don't know, man. I have to have maybe more than a few, but
I gotta be dead drunk just to mess with that. Sorry.
Oh, man.
But not only that happened this week.
Mm-hmm.
Video resurfaced of Marvin Sapp, who's a gospel singer, of him holding the church congregation hostage in order to request $40,000 in donations.
Oh, my goodness. He said ain't nobody leaves until we get that 40,000.
Nobody leave until we get it. He told the church ushers to close the doors, pass the plate around.
Oh, man. Hey.
And then told them, hey, it's like 1,500 of y'all in here. All y'all need to do is give $20 a piece and we out of here.
Wow. That's called robbery.
Fraud.
The church has to,
and I'm going to admittedly say that I used to listen to this guy as a singer when I was a kid growing up, but bro, you going to ask the congregation for 40 grand?
40 grand. Hey, he must have had a bill or something he need to pay.
That's what everybody online been saying.
Yeah.
Bro he had a tax bill he
Yeah,
needed
he
to
had
pay.
some money. Like,
He owed
dog,
the IRS some
I
money.
need 40,000, man. We can't leave here till I get that, man. They gonna take my everything.
Man. Bro was tripping. He was.
Yeah, he was tripping like a motherfucker. You already know he had a nice everything on, but that's the scam of this stuff. You know, I love the church, but there's a lot of people in the church, man, that are scandalous and are taking advantage of the community. And you have to call them out, especially when you see people like this. I don't care what color you are. If you're taking advantage of poor people, this is bull.
Boom.
I don't care. That was crap, and we can call him the donkey, the jackass of the day of the week, because that was ridiculous. All right, man. Let's go into let's talk about some can you go hit that?
Yeah.
Let's go into some comic books real fast, man. We appreciate y'all staying with us. Let's talk some Daredevil stuff, man. I know you people can get into. Yeah, go ahead, run it.
Comic Book Corner. Sponsored by
no one at this time, but if you do want to be a sponsor, just hit us up at info@habarientertainment.com and we can make it happen. Let's dive into the latest in entertainment, man. We're gonna go into some Daredevil Born Again. Today we're dissecting the recent episodes of Daredevil Born Again, specifically episodes 5 and 6. I had quite the reaction, man, over the last episodes. Episode 5 had me on the edge of my seat. I mean, who knew a bank robbery could be so enlightening? It was just really, really dope, man, and refreshing. Seeing Matt Murdock navigate a hostage situation without his Daredevil persona was a refreshing twist. It's like a Superman attending a PTA meeting, expected but oddly satisfying. And let's not forget the delightful cameo of Yusuf Khan, Miss Marvel's dad. His banter with Matt added a layer of humor that balanced the tension. I half expected him to offer the robbers some biryani to calm things down. But he came episode 6, and it was quite a mood swing. I felt like going from a thrilling roller coaster to waiting in line for the roller coaster was kind of tough. The pacing slowed and the intensity dipped a little bit. It was like ordering spicy wings and getting mild instead, and speaking of the unexpected turns, Matt's rapid discovery of the elusive muse had me kind of scratching my head. I thought he kind of found him really fast, and they didn't really give us any information on how he found him. So I was kind of confused on that. Did he suddenly get a bat signal for art? I don't know, man. It just seemed like he found dude a little too fast.
Yeah, I mean, and not to mention, the involvement of
Hey.
Ava Ayala.
But hit that button right there on the tablet.
Their team up seemed to come out of nowhere.
Mm-hmm.
Did I miss an episode of where they exchanged phone numbers?
I don't know, man. It's just Muse. That's like I said, he's never even heard of Muse, and next thing you know, he's in his house on his doorstep. It's like he had Google Maps for criminal hideouts.
Right.
I don't understand. He just
showed up like, hey, bro.
He was just there. I didn't understand that. They have to go into how he was able to do that. But Ava Ayala, that like you said, the team up did come out of nowhere. It seemed like I said, it seemed like he built up a little bit, but they just did do a good job. Let's hope the next 2 episodes it kind of ties things together. I just thought that it kind of dipped in the last one.
Right. And despite the hiccups, Daredevil Born Again continues to keep us guessing. So let's hope that episode 7 brings us back to the spice that we've been craving from the season. I did enjoy the fact that episode 6 he did don the Daredevil suit again. Mm-hmm. And that to me signaled that he's probably coming to a different era of himself.
Yeah.
He's not going to be scared or shy away from hurting those that are doing bad
Yeah.
things in the rest of the season, should
Mhm.
I say. And that probably could mean for the rest of the MCU as well. Daredevil may take on this more prolific player
Yeah.
in his own world.
Yeah, I mean, he's gonna come back. He'll be back as Daredevil. And stay tuned, folks, as we keep our radar sharp for more twists and turns in Hell's Kitchen and with Daredevil Born Again. Like I said, I think it's a great show, and it's been doing okay with people and with people talking online. But let's go ahead and get into our last segment. The Suns they're garbage, man. They've been playing really horrible. We had what?
He's gonna run it. The sports.
Oh, my bad.
Habari Sports.
We know we winding down, but I like to talk about the sports before I get up out of here. The Suns have been really bad, man. They had a 30-point loss, and then the night before last, they had another 26 point loss. The Suns look like they've just given up, man. Memphis fires his head coach, man. What the guy has a winning record, 43-25. They still fired. I'm not really sure why, but they did. So we're gonna try to we're gonna keep you guys on top of that story and try to talk about that. But it was really weird. Hopefully, some more news comes out on exactly what's going on there in Memphis. But head coach was fired with a winning record, man, and I'm really not understanding. I would love to be in Memphis spot the way the Suns have been playing, but Memphis let go of their coach. So it's definitely a surprising move and something we'll keep our eyes on to try to keep you guys updated on what's going on. I know it's a lot of people talking sports, but I like to give my opinion also because that's just the way I do it. But first, the thing I want to talk about the most was LeBron James, man. LeBron James went on to the Pat McAfee show, and he talked about all the journalists in the NBA. He talked about Stephen A. He talked about Wendy. He spoke about Michael Jordan. He talked about a lot of different things, but the main thing that I'm really getting upset about is today's athletes crying about the media.
Mm-hmm.
Today's athletes acting like the media is so tough on them, like they wasn't tough in the past. Today's athlete crying that somebody criticized the way they play the game. I seen Reggie Bush talking about he doesn't like that First Take attacks players. He said he would rather see them attack coaches more. What's the difference between a coach and a player? They both should be responsible for their actions. Why should a player be left out of any criticism? I'm not understanding the sentiment that they're coming with. I just don't get it. Why do they think that they should not have any criticism? While is LeBron, dude, Wendy been covering him for years, since junior high. He wants to come out and shit on the man. The dude says nothing but good things about LeBron. Even after he said this, Windhurst, what did he say? I owe everything LeBron. He owes nothing to me. Stephen A ain't taking that route. He's like, fuck LeBron. And if he would have touched me, I would have punched him. I don't 100% agree with everything Stephen A do, but I do not agree with LeBron.
LeBron, at the end of his career, they are about to hate him.
I don't, man, dude. I don't care, man. To me, LeBron started this. He took it to another level that it didn't have to be by going to Stephen A in front of all of the people in the city in the game, by trying to bully Stephen A, trying to bully Windhurst. He's being a bully, man. We all know you got all these fans and you got all these people. We know. But, bro, I do not agree with the way you are treating journalists right now. The journalists put a spotlight on the game. They're the ones that make people want to watch. They're the ones that bring people towards the stories that's going on in the NBA. The way you guys are acting as athletes, you act like you don't want people to watch anymore. Could you imagine if they stopped talking about you?
That's what I was just about to say. What's going to happen if Stephen A. and all of these broadcasters stop talking about NBA basketball?
They're gonna lose a lot of money. Is what's gonna happen.
If no one talks about Bronny,
They're gonna lose a lot of money.
no one talks about LeBron.
A lot of money.
No one says a word about any of the teams in the NBA.
Yeah.
They're gonna lose a lot of money.
A lot of money.
And for you to be mad that you play a professional sport and you're being criticized for your on the court performance, and you don't want to hear the criticisms of your on the court performance of someone saying, hey, maybe you could have done this better.
No, they don't want to hear that.
Maybe you could have done that better.
They don't want to hear that.
Maybe you could have done this and you wouldn't have lost the game.
Yeah. So it's tough, man. It's tough right now because it's a fight between the media and the players. And you got Draymond Green and you got all these guys with their podcasts feeling as though they don't have to listen to these people and the reporters anymore. But the problem you guys need to understand is that there has to be a perspective from the normal person. We can't just hear from the athletes because you want to hear from people who are just watchers of the game, who've been watching for years and they can tell you what's going on. I don't agree with LeBron coming out being mad that he said a father. That's the reason why he's mad, because he said, as a father, I'm asking you to take the kid out of the game.
As a father, you placed your son in this situation.
Exactly.
As a father, you should be responsible for removing him from this situation.
If you put him in the situation, then why does it hurt your feelings that I'm telling you to take him out? Everybody has been celebrating that he put his son in this position to succeed. Why are you going to get mad if I ask you to remove him from that position of succession?
Exactly, holy moly. It's literally Stephen A's job.
Literally.
His job is to provide critique of your performance.
That's it.
Whether good critique or bad critique. You have good games and you have bad games.
That's right.
All games deserve criticism, whether good or bad.
When you're at your job and you do your job, you do something good, your boss is going to say, hey, good job. We appreciate what you do.
Yep.
But when you fuck up, he's going to say you fucked up. NBA players think they're not supposed to get it differently. When you're on the world stage, nobody's supposed to point out when you do something incorrect.
Right. If you work in your 9-to-5 job and you do something wrong and your manager pulls you to the side and say, hey, you did this when you should have did that.
Right.
That's a criticism of your performance.
And everybody gets that.
Everyone gets it.
You are held responsible by the people who covered the game. Your job is not covered because it's not watched on TV. Nobody want to watch you work at Discover or at Circle K. We watch basketball because it's entertainment. So that means that you are held responsible by your coach, by the people who are representing the watchers of the game.
And your teammates that's on the team with you playing the game.
That's real.
You are held to a higher standard.
That's real.
You are seen as the star of the league. You are the face of the league.
And with being the face comes a lot of responsibility.
Exactly.
And it also comes a lot of critique. To be mad that you are the face and to be mad that you are being critiqued is another level of unbelievably, I can't understand these players. Like, you have the crown. You put the crown on your head. You're saying you're the chosen one.
You crown yourself the king.
You call yourself the GOAT, but you don't want any responsibilities for anything you say or anything you do. You just want to be patted on the back.
Don't hold me accountable for anything that I've said or done in my career. Just pat me on the back and say, good job, LeBron. Good job for what you've done.
There has to be accountability. And sometimes people are not going to agree with you. Everybody don't agree with LeBron. He said his son was better than most of the players in the NBA in a tweet. We don't all agree with you, bro. We don't agree. You can't get mad because Stephen A. don't agree.
Your word ain't gospel.
You can't get mad because he said, as a father, take him out. Oh, that was disrespectful. He was talking about my father. He didn't say anything about the way you raised that kid. He didn't say he was a bad kid. He didn't say the kid wasn't raised right. He said, take him out the basketball game. That has nothing to do with your personal life.
Nothing.
And for you to take it personal, you the one that took it there. And then you walk up on him in the game, and then it's going to say, oh, he's doing a Taylor Swift. Well, you gave it to him.
And you look directly at the camera like, y'all caught that, right?
Right. Exactly. I appreciate you, Holy Moly Donut Shop. We're going to get up out of here ourselves, man. We want to thank everybody for watching today. Bobby Brown, Holy Moly Donut Shop, a lot of other people that watched. We had S.E. Mack. Who else we have in here? Michael Warren. Everybody, man, we appreciate, and everybody from TikTok too. CW from TikTok
even though they
was
kicked
good.
us out.
Yeah, they kicked us out of TikTok. Who knows why? But anyway, man, we'll check y'all out next week, next Saturday, like always, 11 o'clock a.m. Phoenix time or the West Coast time. And subscribe, hit the like, hit the share, become a part of Habari. We appreciate you. Peace.
Holla, holla.
Thanks for watching another episode of Habari Live. Make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel and get updates on news, the podcast, and more. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter. And don't forget to visit www.habarientertainment.com. See you next week. Peace.